In a world where nuclear weapons exist, there is always the danger they will be used. Conflicts can escalate, or accidents might occur.
When I think about the world before 1996, there were over 2,000 nuclear testings. And now 25 years ago, the treaty was open for signature, and since then, less than a dozen tests. On the goal of a world without nuclear weapons, one essential element of that is to have an effective system that can verify if anybody is testing, because that gives confidence to all nations.
What happens, however, if one state believes another state has broken the treaty and tested a nuclear device?
The verification system that supports the CTBT has multiple elements. One absolutely incredibly important element, and powerfully effective already, is the international monitoring system. But the definitive evidence can only be gained on the ground. And that's where on-site inspection comes in.
On-site inspection is supposed to be the ultimate measure to verify whether a state party has breached the treaty or not. Any state may come up to the organization, CTBTO, and say, we have this data, we have a concern that it was a breach of the treaty, it was nuclear test explosion, we request on-site inspections.
Once the request is made, the path to an on-site inspection involves several steps, including clarification and a vote by the Executive Council. And this ensures there are no frivolous requests for an OSI.
But there's actually another reason why it's important. Not just to be able to prove that a nuclear explosion took place, but the opposite. That if there ever was a claim against a state saying you've tested a nuclear weapon and they're adamant that they have not, then an on-site inspection is the best thing that could happen, so that such unfounded claims could also be debunked.
As the most intrusive CTBT verification element, an on-site inspection should be able to determine whether or not a nuclear weapon test explosion or any other nuclear explosion has been conducted. The conduct of inspection activities requires a systematic approach, in line with the operational, technical, and time constraints specified in the treaty, whilst ensuring the rights of an inspected state party are respected.
Just imagine, you need to deploy 40 people. First of all, pick them up from around the globe. Equipment is being packed, it's around 120 tons of equipment. A standby arrangement with transportation company, airlifter is also activated. And in parallel, you need to make all the arrangements with the inspected state party, which is not necessarily friendly to such requests, on the contrary.
The eyes of the world would be focused on the inspection team, and regional tensions could easily be inflamed. Inspectors might need to access private property or request a search in areas that are nationally sensitive. As the inspection progresses, it can become more intrusive as the inspection team home in on areas of interest. They may wish to enter buildings, take environmental samples, or drill deep into the ground. The relationship with the inspected state party may easily come under strain.
Let me go on.
Inspectors have to be more than scientists and experts in their relevant field, but even, I would say, diplomats.
The answer to the questions you don't know.
To prepare the CTBTO for a potential on-site inspection requires a huge amount of planning, training, equipment, and infrastructure.
What we are doing now, we are training potential inspectors. We are preparing and testing equipment for future inspection. We are testing in the field through so-called exercises. We are preparing that on-site inspection regime all chunks be ready upon entry into force.
In a situation where the findings of the on-site inspection indicate that a state has tested a nuclear device in contravention to the treaty, the next steps will be political in nature. States parties will have the confidence that the inspection team will have done its job without bias or any agenda. This might be enough for global leaders to navigate very difficult political problems and prevent nuclear catastrophe.
There is nowhere in the world that a test could take place that would not be detected. So any state that thinks about testing will be deterred because they cannot test in secret. And even more so when you consider on-site inspection. Any state that tests, then there will be demand for on-site inspection to take place. And that would act as a significant deterrent.
On-site inspection acts as a deterrent by its very existence. It's part of a robust verification regime designed to promote non-proliferation and to facilitate the long-term goal of a world without nuclear weapons.